Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Disney Plus series, Marvel Studios X-Men 97. A continuation from the original X-Men, the animated series, with this one taking place 5 years after the original, or I guess, after the 5th season or whatever it was. But here we have Gambit, another Gambit figure. Looks to be basically the same as the Target exclusive retro cardback version that we got, as well as the one that came in, God, I don't know what wave it was, Caliban maybe, whatever the wave it was. We essentially have the same exact Gambit figure. Oh, actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm sorry. It's not the same exact Gambit figure. It looks like we have a new jacket. And I think that's it. Well, a new head sculpt, of course. But that's like it. So, yeah. Another Gambit figure. Did people miss out? Is he still popular and in demand? Maybe, but we also never got an animated series one, not in the VHS line. This one kind of was close, but not exactly, so I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts on us getting another Gambit figure. I mean, he may have a big part in the show and that could make sense. So then it's like, well, duh, of course you got to do a Gambit figure. But it's just one of those ones. Was it necessary? Because this one wasn't even that long ago. A couple of years ago, yes, sure. But not like crazy long ago. And I don't think it was going for like a crazy amount online or anything. But anyway, here we have the X-Men 97 card back. You can see the grouping of the whole wave. We got the artwork of Gambit there. On the back of the package, same thing. We get the cross-sell of all the figures in the wave. I got my set from toysnowman.com. Link in the video description below. He was in stock last I checked, so make sure to check him out. I have a referral link in the description below. It has... when you create an account using my referral link, you get a 5% off coupon code in your Frost Rewards. But Toy Snowman's awesome. They're located in Canada, so they tend to get a lot of the action figures and stuff early before the U.S., and they ship out to the U.S. And everything too. So it's pretty awesome. Check them out. All your action figure needs, not just your Hasbro Marvel Legends stuff, your other Hasbro stuff, and as well as import figures, all those other things. So your one-stop shop for action figure collecting. So check them out. toysnowman.com. But Gambit, here we have him. Let's check him out. Okay, so here's the Gambit figure out of the package. He is pretty good, so if you don't have a previous Gambit figure, this is one that you might want to pick up. The head sculpt is really good. The animated series colors that we have with them. But I will admit, this Gambit was a pretty damn good Gambit. If you had it, if you have it, then I think you're good. You may not need this other one unless you specifically want it because it's from this new show that hasn't premiered yet. Then you get it. We get a lot of the same similar accessories. We had this one before. We has the card throwing hand. As you can see, it has the effects and has the cards painted, the ace of each one of them. We have the bow staff. This is done in a very nice blue metallic color, which is cool. But, it's the same things that we had seen before. We don't get... an extra hand for his right, so he's always going to have kind of the card holding hand. Unfortunately, whereas previous ones we had different hands that would come with it. We don't this time around unless you painted this blue black, and then you could use that. So we don't get that extra hand in, and it's not the end of the world. Sure, you could use that, or you could have this one. But it is definitely solid. The head sculpt is really good. I will admit though, also that the jacket, it being new, is cool. The other one was much softer and more pliable, but the smoothness of the animated style of the jacket, you don't get any deep wrinkles or detailed wrinkles. You get some waves in it, sure, but it just doesn't look... It clashes with the sleeves, in my opinion, whereas the sleeves, as you can see, a lot more wrinkles and stuff like that, whereas the jacket is much more smooth. It clashes a little bit, whereas the previous Gambit figures, these same arms on a jacket that had a lot more, wrinkles in it and sculpted detail and not as smooth, seem to work better together, whereas here it clashes a little bit, in my opinion. It's not the end of the world. It's not that big of a deal, but again, just something noteworthy to mention. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get in for the closer look at Gambit and check out the whole head sculpt. The head sculpt is pretty good, and he's got stubble on his chin that looks so much better than Wolverine's looked, because this, you could tell it's stubble. Wolverine, it just looks dirty. Okay, so here we have a closer look at the Gambit figure. His hair is all kinds of wild and stuff. And then, again, with the animated series figures, what you could see is the hair doesn't get as much detailed sculpt work as you could see. You'd see more strands of hair like in the comic book stuff, whereas animated, it's a lot more smooth and things like that. That's a big, you know, way to tell the difference between the two. But looking at like these two here, again, a very animated style. And then looking at his chin, look at the stubble on there. That came out looking really good. Look at the stubble on Logan, on Wolverine. It's like he has 4 hairs versus, you know, actual stubble on his chin. So big difference in the way they handled the stubble. Way better with Gambit, in my opinion. But here it looks pretty good. We don't get any paint work in this blue metallic section like we got on the previous one there. Here we get this like bright pink there in the front. Again, it is all like the same sculpt and everything like that. It was made specifically for Gambit, would never be used with anybody else. So now Hasbro gets a 3rd figure out of it. There it is, again, all the same. We get this metallic blue there for the lower legs. We get the pink stripes there painted on the side. We do have pins because, again, it is reuse of the previous Gambit molds. I don't hate that. I don't think it's terrible. The coat really kind of blocks that one spot where it would really be a problem because, you know, if anything, if they painted that pink, that would have been cool. But you know, it's not the end of the world. But there we have it again. You know, similar Gambit to what we've had before. You know, just a different coat and different head sculpt. But again, the head sculpt I think came out looking really good. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. So let's go ahead and check out his articulation. Actually, before the articulation, look at the metallic blue of the bow staff. I love the way it came out looking. I love the color. Absolutely love it. I think it looks awesome. So I just wanted to highlight that and show that off. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Gambit's articulation. Gambit can look up all the way. His head is on a disc hinge there. He can look down all the way as well, which is good. You get a full rotation in that head sculpt. Is there some pivot? Not really a whole lot, unfortunately. The arm, you can get it. I kind of had to crack it a little bit, as you can see, to get it to go straight on out. Looks like the plastic got chewed a little bit, so be careful with that. Full rotation. You get it to go out that much. Upper bicep swivel in there. Single jointed elbow gives you just over a 90-degree bend there. There is a swivel at that elbow as well. And then wrist swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on the card holding hand. The bow staff holding hand does have a vertical hinge on there. No hinge on the card throwing effect hand. No hinge on that. Gambit has an ab crunch, so he can crunch forward that much there, and you can see the jacket go back with it. He can crunch back somewhat, but the design of the coat is not going to really allow that torso to go back, unfortunately. You got a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can't kick forward that far, which is really good. The leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinned knee. Ooh, I got a little frozen in there, so you get that much bend there at the knee, which is good. The hinge is that metallic blue color, so that kind of clashes with the black, unfortunately, but solid bend at the knee. There is the calf swivel in there. You got a foot that hinges down. You get some hinge up. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So exactly what we had with the previous Gambit figures. It's not going to be anything new there because, again, it is the same exact body mold, but it moves around pretty good. The jacket is a little bit more constricting because it rounds out in front, and it's not as soft and pliable like this one. This one, I mean, you could move this around very easily. It doesn't really get in the way and things like that. This one just doesn't really want to work with you very much, so it's fairly stiff. So just a heads up on that. Okay, so I wanted to show these two specifically, obviously because of the relationship between Gambit and Rogue. So the two from Xmen 97, but to show proper side-by-side comparisons, my intent here to show you the previous Gambit figure with this one here. As you can see, same exact sculpt, different jackets, different head sculpts. You guys let me know down in the comments below, which one do you think is better? I like this jacket more. It was a very old jacket that was used a bunch of times, so it's cool that a new jacket has been made. However, I did still really like this one. I'm leaning towards this one a little bit only because of the coat, but I do like the colors of this new one more. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, which one do you think is the better Gambit figure? Which one would you prefer? Would you use this as your comic-based Gambit? Let me know, because I know a lot of folks that want the Magneto figure. They're just going to use it as a comic book-based Magneto because, I mean, it's close enough. Well, these are all close enough. So you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But again, I think the jacket's better on this one, but I like the colors on this one. Is it something that you'd be able to swap out? Sure. I don't know how to pop out the arms and stuff like that properly. I'm sure somebody out there will probably do that. All right, guys, so here is the entire X-Men 97 wave together. I'm kind of hiding Storm back there, aren't I? So you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this wave? Are you looking forward to the show? I wish we would get a trailer at some point. You know, all the merch is hitting the stores, and you know, there's not even a trailer out there. I would think that the show has to be ready, and it just, for whatever reason, they're shuffling around the timelines due to marketing reasons and other shows and things like that. But man, I hope we get something soon. Do we get a better idea as far as what's going to go on in the show and what the show is going to all be about? You know, which characters are going to be the focus of the show, how many episodes, all that stuff. I can't wait to get more information on that. But for now, these are the characters that we have. It's probably a fair assumption to make that these are going to be important ones. Although Heist Nebula tells us that they'll just release figures of characters that don't have a very big role at all just because they can and it's easy to do them. So I don't know. We'll see. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of the Gambit figure? What do you think of the wave? Let me know. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you're interested in supporting the channel, hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU collective. And as always, thank you for watching.